Hey guys, and welcome on how to build a base in Miscreated. Okay, in this series we're going to start very slowly. We're going to start with the basics, but we're going to end up building very creative bases and really giving you guys some ideas which will add a lot of fun to your gaming experience. And of course, I'm going to get some feedback from you guys where you can showcase your own bases. Now, the reason we started on a death screen or a respawn screen is I wanted to spawn on a random spot on purpose, which I didn't choose. I could easily die a few times and then start in a location that is very positive, or a spot that has got a lot of resources for me to build a base. But as you guys will see, I spawned near K Bay, which is quite a rare spawn. You don't really spawn at this dock here, but yeah, the things that you're going to need to focus on when building a base is of course lumber, which you get from pellets. These rope bundles are fantastic to get tools very fast. And I did pick up a few random items, which is completely unnecessary. But of course, you never know, if you're going to run into a quad or, a quad that you can drive. So we got a rope, we got a rag, and when you go to equipment and bags, a horseshoe pack is definitely an item that you want to get very early. If you're lucky enough to run into any kind of backpack, that's a great bonus. But yes, looting overall very thoroughly helps you a heck of a lot. And when you build a base, there's basically just only two things to focus on. The first thing is the location, how many resources are around you, and then the second thing is what kind of base you're planning to create. The smaller your base is, the more options you have with where you're going to build your base. The bigger your base is, the less your opportunities are going to be, because of course you need the space for the base, enough space, and then you need to choose quite a flat surface, because as you expand your foundations you can run into the ground, or if you start at the highest point you can end up struggling to place the last foundations exactly where you want them. But yes, basically what we're going to be building today is a base with an extra room so that you can't get raided if somebody camps your base or kills you while you're trying to go into your base. I call it a safe room. There's various names for it, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to use two foundations, and then we're going to close up those foundations with walls, doors, and of course our platforms. As you can see, it doesn't really matter where you start. It's quite easy to find weapons. And yes, I am going to give you guys a few tips while we're going. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be joining random servers which are quiet, so that we don't get bothered a lot. But on every single server I'm going to spawn in a random location, and we're going to look at how long it takes me to get to the basic design, which we will be doing today. And only later on we will expand on those designs, and we're going to have various ideas how to come up with something creative. But yes, on this first video I took 45 minutes to complete basically all the footage that I got. Okay, so that's finishing the base, having two furnaces in there, having a bed in there so that we can respawn on the bed, and then of course getting a fireplace because we ran into a storm. Okay, so it's the 2 furnaces, the bed, and the workbench. Okay, the workbench is very important for creating sheet metal to upgrade your parts. Now, the one thing that I focused on here, and the other thing that I want you guys to focus on, Miscreated is not a game to rush. Okay, it's not a game where you start at one point, you end at another point, and within a week you're done with the game and you lose $60 or how much ever money you spend on the game. Okay, Miscreated is a game which you can buy for a really low price, and you can enjoy it for a very long time. Now, a lot of people call survival games a running simulator, and there are games where I do get that feeling, but when it comes to Miscreated, I don't get that feeling at all. And one tip that I can give you is to stop rushing things. Don't squeeze all the life out of it, as soon as you can. It's like anything in life. Take your time, enjoy it. When you meet the woman of your dreams, it's not going to help if you stick onto her like a piece of gum, okay? Or squeeze the life out of her, or don't give her any space to breathe. And it's the same with a game like this. Miscreated is really a hidden gem. And all I'm showing you here is if you walk backwards while hitting down, it's very easy to get 2 shots on those little baby spiders. Okay, just a small tip there. And because baby spiders and cockroaches spawn or fall out of the tree when you're hitting trees. Okay, not at rocks, not at ore deposits, only at trees. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're collecting just enough lumber, and this is what I meant by taking your time. When you go through what you have to build, count the lumber, count the wood. Like if it takes 10 lumber, you need 10 wood logs. Okay, no, 20 wood logs for 10 lumber, because it takes 2 wood logs for 1 lumber. If you can get sticks from bushes, fine, but if you can't get sticks, just get a wood log. You get wood log piles. You can get them from trees. There's various ways to get wood logs. And if you can't get wood logs, just go search a few bushes. So there's absolutely nothing stopping you. It's just about the time that you take to get there. And base building is a time-consuming thing, but it's what you make of it. If you're going to go for a boring block base that you've seen many people build, then yes, it's going to take some time, and when you're done with it, you're going to look back on it and just maybe you'll feel it's great because it's protecting the loot, but I don't know how happy you will feel with the amount of time you've put into it, and I don't know how much that will inspire you to play on other servers. Remember, there's a bunch of other servers that you can go play on and create accounts on. But if you always build the same kind of base and always do the same kind of thing, it's going to get boring. Now right here we're looking for a place to put our plot sign, and I'm always going to try and build the base close to the area that I spawned in. So here you can see, because we're too close to the little town or the little beach town that we spawned at, our plot sign is red. Okay, so if you're running around with the plot sign and it's red, that just means you're close to a town or a hotspot, or you're too close to somebody else's base. Sometimes you might be frustrated, you're like, I don't see any bases, what the hell is going on? It's basically just 2 things. You're either in a zone that you can't build in, or you're in the radius of another base. And you don't have to see a base. Even if the guy just plopped down a plot sign and a few crates in a bush, you won't be able to place the plot sign in that area. But when it comes to placing base spots, remember, the plot sign gives you 48 hours. If you only place a plot sign, within 2 days the plot sign will be gone. every other part that you place after that will add 6 more hours to the despawn timer, okay, to your base disappearing. So just simple maths here. If you put a plot sign down, that's 48 hours. And if you place 10 parts, that's 6 times 10, that's 60 hours. So a plot sign plus 10 parts, 10 base parts, gives you 108 hours. Okay? Which roughly gives you about 4 to 5 days. Which is fine. So as soon as you get to about 20 parts, you don't have to worry about your base. You just have to come back to your base once a week. And this is one of the examples that I spoke about. When you're on uneven ground, then it's you don't have a lot of freedom on which direction you're going to build your base in. Okay? And yeah, if you're full of nonsense like me, then you don't want grass to stick out of the foundations, out of the top of the foundation. But we're not going to be, full of nonsense here. We're just looking for the fastest option to show you guys the beginning base. There you can see I've got 104 lumber. Okay, before the lumber disappears, 104 lumber, and then we've got more than enough scrap metal. But the main thing is we're going to build wooden parts here. We only got the scrap metal for the lockable doors that we're going to build. But remember, I had 104 lumber. Okay, very important target when you're going to construct the starting framework. That's what I call it. It's a starting framework, and you can build any base from this design, and you can expand, in any way from this design. But this is a very basic, very safe design. And the reason I start like this is I don't want to harvest a lot of iron ore in the beginning, because as you guys see, I've just started. Okay, so I want somewhere to come and put my loot when I've got access loot. But I don't want to put the best loot. I don't want to keep the best loot in my crates. I want to keep the best stuff on me. I just want the access loot, which I can't use at the moment, like the repair kits that I've got on me right now. Or a hatchet and a pickaxe and a hammer that I'm not going to use constantly. I want to go out and explore and have some fun. Okay, and go kill people or whatever I want to do. I want to keep that in the base. So while my base is made out of wood, it's not the end of the world, because people can raid your base with tools when it's just made out of wood. But when you've just got a bunch of random access loot in your crates, it's not that important. And before you go and loot in dangerous spots, or you really go and look for guns, or you try and go for kills, or you try and go for your first airdrop, you need to upgrade your walls so that it at least takes 4 C4s to get into your base. Okay, that's the first objective. The second objective is the safe room, so that someone can't kill you when you open your door and get into your loot without having to raid you. That's the most important thing. So because we're building the minimum amount of walls and we're not going crazy, with the amount of parts that we're putting down, it's going to be very fast. It's not going to take a lot of time for us to upgrade this starting framework of a base that we've got here. And then we can go looking for some loot. And the more rare our loot gets, or the more epic our loot gets, the more we can expand on the base. But remember, the best stuff you can always keep on you when you log out. But the things that we are constructing are very, very important. So the base is there to protect your loot. We're not going to build any crates at the moment. We're just going to focus on the most important things. So yes, a crate is very important because the main purpose of your base is to store your loot. But priorities are also very important. So the first thing we want to do is put down 2 furnaces. One thing you must remember when you build furnaces is build them a bit away from the wall. You can use the snapping system, but I like to place parts like this with the free mode. And remember that you need to leave a space on the right hand side of the furnace, because that's normally where the wood pops out. As soon as you add wood to the furnace so that it can burn, the wood pops out on the right hand side. Okay, you don't want that right next to a wall so that people are going to see the wood outside, or if you want your base to look good, just focus on that. You don't want the wood glitching out or whatever. You want space so that if something falls out of your furnace, you don't lose it because it's glitched into something. So the furnaces are very important because that's your first objective. You need to upgrade your walls, okay? And in the next video, I'm going to show you guys how quickly I can upgrade the starting base. And in the future videos, we're not going to upgrade the bases anymore, because I want to show you guys very interesting designs. We are going to cover the 5x5 platform design, which is the norm at the moment for clans or players that want to protect their loot. But we are going to expand on it a bit and add a few more ideas and talk about these things and talk about ways, to protect your loot and various strategies to protect your loot, and make it safe from vehicles or people using parts to get on top of your roof. We're going to discuss all of those strategies because I've built hundreds of bases on various servers. And because I don't really worry about my loot, I can give you guys another kind of perspective when it comes to bases. Yes, I do know how to protect my base. Yes, I know how to build a block base, but I've built a lot of different types of bases because I like to experiment. And my main focus isn't, I don't want anyone to get to my loot. I really don't care if somebody gets to my loot, because I know I log out with the best loot on me, and I've played the game for 5 years, so I know exactly where the best loot is. So yes, the only thing that's bad when you get raided is probably the ammo. Okay, if the guy empties out the ammo boxes, that can probably take you some time or a bit of trouble to get, but the guns are really not a problem. And any AR, especially after the next update that's going to come out, I feel any AR is going to do roughly the same damage. They're even going to nerf the legendary weapons, so whether you've got a Reaver is a lot of fun to play with, and a Dictator is a lot of fun to play with, but it's still golden. I would have really loved them to have different skins for the legendary weapons, because golden weapons aren't really great for stealth or cover. And I feel with the new update, because they are rebalancing all the damage values, whether you've got a mod 16 or DDMK 18 or any of the new guns, a gun is a gun. Okay, so as long as it's got high caliber bullets, basically 5.56 or better, it's going to do the same kind of damage, and that's the purpose. Defending yourself or killing someone. That's about it. And yeah, basically, we just got 10 rocks to make a fireplace, some lumber to heat ourselves up. And when you place down a fire, don't be like me and just plop it down anywhere, okay? Try and put it in an area where it's not going to be in your way, because you can't pack it up, and I will show you, of course, that you can't destroy it either. Okay, so if you can get a heater early, or put the fire outside during the day, rather do that so that it doesn't take up the space in your small environment. And yes, the bed is also extremely important. because when you die, you wanna be back at the base. Okay, you wanna be sure of where you are, especially if you're new. You know, if you're new, then you've explored your area for all the resources, which is another good thing. Starting with the base, instead of just running around, you know, like a headless chicken, isn't always the best idea. And if you're wondering what I'm doing here, is I picked up a lot of radiation. I don't have radiation tablets or anything, but I've got the bed. So with the bed, you don't really care about dying. Now don't do this too often, guys, because once you've respawned, the respawn timer goes to in half an hour. Okay? So the first time you spawn and you haven't spawned at your base in a long time, it's immediate, or 30 seconds. But as soon as you've used your bed, it will take 30 minutes for that, for that spawner to reactivate. So the timer on it is basically half an hour. So just be careful with that. And yeah, dying at your base is no problem. So if you're building your base, or you're busy with resources and you don't really want to go get water or anything like that, you can die repeatedly. You're definitely not going to die every half an hour unless someone kills you. Okay, so if your water and food is bothering you and you don't want to pick up radiation by drinking out of the ocean, it's fine. Just wait until you die, respawn and repeat. Okay, you're not gonna die from water or food within half an hour. Okay, that's it. That's impossible. So yes, the bed has got various advantages, but yeah, what we're gonna focus on in this series is, of course, just showing you, okay, how to build a base. But the other thing is to save as much time as we can. So if you just want to randomly, collect resources, that's fine. That's how most of the experienced people do it. For me personally, I don't like spending too much time on one single thing. Okay, so if I get resources, I first look at what resources I need, and I get that specific amount of resources. Like literally here, I need 2 iron ingots for a door. So I just got 4 iron ore, okay, which I'm going to turn into 4 iron ingots, because I just need the 2 doors. Okay, will I need more iron ingots? Yes, we have to upgrade the walls, but for now, that's all I'm focusing on, is to finish the things that I need. Sorry, I need 4 iron ingots for the workbench. Not for the doors. I use the scrap metal for the doors. But yeah, I'm just showing you can't destroy a campfire, guys. So hopefully they'll change that, within the next update or something. But yeah, be careful where you place the fireplace, so it's not too much in your way. It was dark, so yeah, I just plopped it down. Unfortunately, I plopped it down right in front of the entrance. But yes, that's the magic about this game. How you decide to go after resources. I've met a lot of people who love getting resources. They're not interested in PvPing. They don't want to explore all the time. They just want to get a bunch of resources and build a really big base. A really cool looking base. So that's fine. Everyone's play style differs. Okay. And I'm going to put the workbench outside now, but there's more than enough space inside. I just have to wait for a restart for the fireplace to despawn, because it despawns after a restart, and then I can just pack up my workbench and put it inside. Okay, so don't go in the comments and go, who puts a workbench outside? I put a workbench outside. I've done it before, especially if I hide my base very well. And if somebody wants to destroy the workbench, it's fine. You can clearly see you need a workbench to create sheet metal, but as soon as you interact with the crafting menu while you're looking at the workbench, you can craft it, okay? Which is not a problem. And as soon as you've got enough sheet metal, you'll get an extra option on the wooden walls to upgrade them. Now, of course, the walls take 16 sheet metal. So yeah, we will do that in the next episode. So yes guys, if you enjoyed the video, press the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe because we're going to cover a lot in the future. And yeah, I'm just going to go to bed now and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Cheers guys, have fun.